Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. My name is Jeremy, and today we are sitting in front of Scott's America's Most Haunted. Now, Scott just did the awesome install on the color display here, but since we film everything out of order, you're going to see that next.
Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. I'm Scott. I'm usually on the other side of the camera, but Jeremy was nice enough to go ahead and let me get on this side to go ahead and give you guys something special. Today we're going to install the new LED OCD color DMD for America's Most Haunted. Thanks to Harold for going through and getting this done. I know a lot of us who have America's Most Haunted were really looking forward to adding color, and with this kit we're capable of doing that now. So give us a sec here to shut everything down and open it up, and we'll get right to it. So we unboxed the kit and took a look and see what we had inside. Little prelim to make sure we got the right tools. We are basically going to need a Phillips head, a nut driver, and a drill and a pencil to take and mark a couple holes. Should be pretty much straightforward. Again, special thanks to LED OCD for getting this to us. We are 4 days from MGC, and hopefully we don't break anything because this has got to go. So we're going to start with removing the old display per the instructions. Disconnect the header, disconnect the display cable, and remove the screws. Okay, and then we're just supposed to take and remove the display. And that's the old display. Set it off to the side for now. Now, the instructions did list that the glass in the over the display would have to be removed and changed out. Came with a green tint, and if you see here, it does actually have a green tint. So we are going to pause for a sec, knock this out, and test fit the new plexiglass, and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I did, folks, was I took the took the hot glue out of the corners and left one corner with the hot glue in it, and then went ahead and used that as an anchor point to take and give me a direction as to where I was going to have the glass centered. Left the hot glue that was on the top and the bottom to go ahead and leave it centered, and then I'm just going to take and put some fresh hot glue in the corners to go ahead and lock this back in. And that's all it is. So, new glass is in. We'll clean that right before we put the color DMD in, because there's always something on the back of it. And go ahead and get this ready to go. So, let's crack the plastic and static bag and take a look and see what we got. There we go, new display and chroma board. So per our instructions, we're supposed to take and temporarily place the new display so we can mark the mounting holes and drill a couple pilot holes. So I am guessing that's going to be up. So per the instructions, we're supposed to take and line up the display with the bottom edge. And if you look here close, it's the routed edge that fits into the track. So just kind of put your hand back there and slide the display till it's even. And if you look per the instructions, the top holes on the left and the right should be halfway in the middle there. And the display bracket should be mounted, should be centered between the two speakers. And we're going to call that good. Mark the locations for our screws using a pencil. So we're going to go ahead and follow that. Then remove the display and drill the pilot holes. Okay, per the instructions, we are going to drill pilot holes. Measure twice, cut once. So line everything up. We did find that the display rides right along the routed channel on the bottom of the speaker panel. So make sure you line that up. So when you put it all back together, the display is actually not holding the speaker panel up. And we also noticed that if you see our markings here and the hole that I drilled over here already, the top holes are right on the edge of the channel for the back glass to go into. Clearance is there, should be fine, but just be careful when you're drilling it out. Make sure you don't let the drill bit rise and get up into that channel. You could have some problems. So we're going to go ahead and drill the other 3 holes, make sure everything's okay, and I'm sure we're going to go ahead and fast forward through this. That way you won't hear my swearing when it screws up. Oh, pro tip. When you're taking and doing pilot holes for something, if you need a specific depth, you can measure it on the drill bit with a small ruler. Measure your depth in and then put a piece of tape on it. In this case, we're just a little bit over a 1/4 inch, and just put the tape at the 1/4 inch, and when the tape gets down to your material that you're drilling into, stop. So let's get the other 3 done and move on to the next step. Now, the instructions say you need to take and pierce the plastic coating. I went just a little bit deeper to make sure we had, halfway decent pilot holes. Take and screw this into. We didn't have any bulging. So clean that up and move on to the next step. Now, next step is to install the display. Go ahead and run the screws in. I'm going to take this time to go ahead and clean the plexiglass before we do that, and make sure you remove the protective film from the LCD before you put it in its final resting place. We were nice enough to get a little note that says remove the plastic protective screen, so we're going to do that now. Now it appears there is a little bit of play in the holes for the display, so you have a little room to take and move it up or down if you need to. Recommendation, kind of like all the automotive guys, I love how we all hearing automotive quotes. Put all 4 screws in first before you tighten them all down, and then tighten them all down. And that should be it mounted into the speaker panel. We had just a little bit of a blow through on the top on both sides, but the screws cleared, so thank God we measured twice. So next we're going to take and go to connecting the power. Yet again, handy dandy Z connector and power tap. We already have an extra lighting kit in here, so we're going to go ahead and pull that and add in our extra kit, and then add the lighting back in. If we have problems, we'll go ahead and disconnect the lighting for now and make sure everything works. Per the instructions, plug the Z connector end in to the power, add the Z connector. It's all keyed. All you have to do is take and put it together. And then normally we just add this power connector back in, but since we have the extra lighting, we're going to go ahead and put it all together. Kind of push it off to the side. And then we need our display input and our power input. And per the instructions, again, keyed, black is up. And red line's up here in the back box. So we need to make sure we put the red line down to pin 1. DMD pin 1, red line, pin 1, red line. Okay, last step is to install the new memory card. It says that it's a faster memory card than the last stock one, and it's not going to have a update like the regular firmware does for Spooky. Put it in and let it update, and hopefully everything goes good. And let's see what happens. You would need to wait for the software version text to be displayed. It only takes about a minute. If this does not happen or fails, please contact. Turn the power off and wait a few seconds, turn the game back on. Dramatic pause. Dun dun dun! Ladies and gentlemen, one America's Most Haunted color display.
There is a ghost in the top bumpers. I've never seen such ball handling. This old theater, which I totally want to make out in, is allegedly haunted. According to the staff.
Ghost photo hunt!
Aim for the flashing cameras to collect.
Big thanks to Charlie Emery from Spooky Pinball and Ben Heck for allowing this product to be made. And also a big thanks to Harold from LED OCD for manufacturing this product and jumping through all the hoops. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.